All right, here goes nothing. Holy shit. So welcome back to the episode, guys. We are going for a drive in the freshly built Morris Minor. Now, this is the maiden voyage in which I decided to take it out for a drive and put some miles on this thing, see what she's capable of doing and experience how the vehicle now performs compared to what it was, well, when we first got it. So immediately, this thing has that much power. It is like ridiculous. It is honestly ridiculous. From what we had before, this slow little nugget of a car with a side valve engine, we've now got an overhead valve. I can't explain how good this thing goes. It is literally a different car at the moment, and I can't believe how much of a difference it's actually made. So the first thing I notice is how much this car revs. It's awesome, it really is. This thing actually drives really well now, and I'm quite surprised how much of a difference it's actually made. Now, I'd never driven a car with a side valve engine before, so I wasn't really sure as to what to expect from it. And from some of the comments that I got, I was told that I should really stick to overhead valve classic mini engines and don't touch side valves. Making these adjustments and changing the things that we've done has really made the world of difference to this vehicle. Now, probably the only other thing I can suggest that it really needs is probably just a different differential gear set. The reason for that is, as you can hear, she's revving a little high, but not ridiculously. I'm currently sitting at about 55 miles an hour, so doing a fairly comfortable speed, and she's driving really well. Any higher, probably about 60, 65 mile an hour, or about 100, 110, you'd probably find the revs would be quite up there. The good thing about that is you can always do that upgrade at any time, and it is a fairly easy sort of upgrade to do, and you don't need to put a lot of time and effort into it. It is quite expensive, but at the same time, if that's what the customer wants to do, we can do that down the track. Now, this car has been fitted with an A-series engine. We decided to go with the 950, and we made some modifications. First of all, we bought it out 40 thou, and I was using a set of Graham Russel flat top pistons. Not only that, we've gone with a 266 Graham Russel mild camshaft, a set of forged rockers at 1.5 to 1, a set of twin SU 1.25 inch carburetors for that little bit of extra kick, a set of extractors that just absolutely tie this into the engine, and that's all accompanied with a later model gearbox, tail shaft, differential, and a set of 13-inch alloy wheels. So originally the customer asked me, I want to upgrade this thing. I want a better engine so I can actually go, and a set of brakes that'll actually stop. So we've made some modifications and we've done exactly that. And this thing just drives like a charm. It drives like a 50s car. As you cruise along, you find that it kind of finds its own way inside the road. It kind of tracks down the already made tracks in the road and has a bit of a mind of its own. I also guess because it's torsion bar suspension, it doesn't have any front sway bars, it has a bit of body roll, which is pretty expected for a car in the 50s. So this car absolutely drives and performs beyond comprehension. If you've ever driven one of these cars before and you know how they go with the original side valve engine, this thing literally makes double the horsepower that it did right from the factory. This has been the biggest build I've done to date other than building Grace from the ground up. It has been an experience and a half in which I cannot thank the customer enough, and also you subscribers for coming along for the journey. Originally I thought this was going to be a fairly quick turnaround sort of job in which I'd be able to do in a couple of weeks, pull the engine out, refurb it, put it back in, upgrade the brakes, send it on its way. But in this case, it snowballed from small job all the way through to a fairly big one. So the roads I'm driving along now aren't all that great, and no roads really in New South Wales or Australia are. But it definitely performs much better than what it did, especially the handling with the braking and the overall performance. Now also, one of the coolest things about this car is the period correct style temperature gauge that I decided to run in this. The original car did not come out with a temperature gauge whatsoever, so I decided to add in one of these little suckers. This is a Smith's temperature gauge, and it matches the exact same style as the previous ones that came out in the car originally. It is one of the best features of the vehicle that I can find that I've done, simply because it is period correct, it's the same color, it just matches and goes with everything else. Now, one thing about driving cars from the 50s is you really need to take your time driving them. You can't just thrash them about, change gears willy-nilly, and just slam it into gear expecting this thing's going to behave like a modern day car. So through my dealings with Colin from Spry Parts, he advised me that he read an article that stated you need to casually change gears, and by that it means apply the clutch, slowly move it forward, select the next gear, and then remove your foot from the clutch in order for it to change gears smoothly. And this is from the factory in the late 50s all the way through to the 60s when the cars were still in production. I honestly cannot express or explain how good this car actually goes. The car is completely transformed, and we've legit doubled the amount of horsepower that it had originally. I can't believe that I've taken on a project like this, and I've done it privately. As I said, it was something that I envisioned to start off as just being this small little project that I could do an engine rebuild on, then I could just refurb the brakes, upgrade a couple of things, and then that was it. But this thing turned into something bigger than that, and it turned into a full build, and is by far the best job I've ever done. And in saying that, everything I've done on this is now the staple and the bare minimum that I will do to a vehicle. The quality of the wiring, the parts that I've used, and not saying that anything I've done in the past has been any less, but I really wanted this to be the starting point of what I'm able to offer subscribers who want me to work on their cars, but also offer myself the best possible outcome that I possibly can to be able to enjoy working on these vehicles, but also giving back and doing above and beyond what the customer's expectations is. And I think this car has surpassed that 110%, and I can't believe I've actually done it. Today's the day in which I finally say goodbye to the Morris Minor, and thank you very much everyone for watching. Thanks for being part of the journey. It has been a massive, massive journey. And this year we have some really exciting stuff coming up, and I cannot wait to show it with you guys. And the next build is something super, super interesting. Something, as far as I'm aware, no one has ever done in a classic Mini before. Oh, maybe that's saying too much. Maybe it's not. Maybe you know, maybe you don't. Maybe you've seen the Easter eggs hidden in some of the other episodes. Maybe you need to go back and watch it. But guys, until then, thank you very much for watching and being a part of this channel, and not only that, but also helping me with this vehicle. I've learned so much, and I've become such a better person and a mechanic from working on this and from your support, guys. So, like always, stay COVID safe, and we'll see you right here on another episode of Tomo's Tune-Ups.